using equal signs and equations. We do the exact same steps. There's only one thing from yesterday that we need to remember, and that's whenever we multiply or divide by a negative number, what do we have to do to the inequality? You have to flip it. You have to change it. So you've got to kind of file that away to memory. That's the one important thing you've got to remember about solvent inequalities. And so if I gave you this equation, so imagine it without the less than sign. Imagine it with an equals sign. What would be the first step that you would do?
13 to each side.
Add 13 to each side. Very good. Okay. Now when I do that, on the left side I have 11x. On the right side I have 55. Okay. So then now in order to solve that equation, what do you think we should do next? Divide by 11. Very good. So on the left side, you now have x. Do I flip the inequality?
No.
No, because 11 was positive. So x is less than 5. Good. So now all we need to do is make a number line. What kind of dot do you put on 5? Open. And then which way do you shade? To the left. And there you go. Questions? Let's try this one. 23 is greater than or equal to 10 minus 2w. What is the first thing you should do?
Subtract 10.
Subtract 10. Very good. Now when I do that, I get, is greater than or equal to negative 2w. And then you divide by negative 2. So really here I get negative 6½ or negative 13/2. Yep. And then I switch the inequality because I've divided by a negative number. Okay. So now if you remember from Tuesday, one of the things that I like to do, I like to switch that around so that I can see a little bit better how I'm going to go ahead and graph. It says W is greater than or equal to negative 6½. So what type of circle am I going to use? Closed, and I'm going to shade to the right. So that's how you graph the fractional values. Same way. Any questions over these previous two problems? Let's look at another one. What is the first thing you do? Subtract 11. So I get negative 4y to be less than 32. What do you do now? Yep. So that leaves me with is, yep. Why did I switch the inequality? Divided by a negative number. And that was basically yesterday's lesson. Okay, whenever you divide by a negative number, you've got to switch the inequality. What type of circle at -8, folks? Open. Which way am I going to shade?
Right.
To the right. Questions? So far, so good? Now, are they all going to be that easy? Probably not. And so we're going to look at a few more types of problems. The first one is 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 45. So if you remember from Tuesday, what we did is we split this into two parts. The first part is going to be this. And so if you remember, I'm going to write an expression just for what I've underlined right there. Okay? 5 minus 6 times a number. What could symbolize that?
5 minus 6x.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly right. 5 minus 6x. Now I'm going to pick up and use this statement right here. 4 times the number plus 45. What would 4 times the number plus 45 be?
4 plus 40.
Right. And now what I need to do is figure out what the inequality is that goes in between these. And I look at what it states. Is more than. So what inequality would correlate to that? Greater than sign, and that's the one that points to the right. So there you go. So now what I need to do is solve that system, or solve that inequality. So in order to solve that, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4x from both sides. So on the left, I have 5 minus 10x is greater than 45. What do I do now? Subtract 5 from both sides. So I end up getting negative 10x is greater than 40. What is the next step? Divide by negative 10. So I end up getting x to be, nice job, you caught the switching of the inequality. So x is less than negative 4. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, 2 more than half a number is greater than 27. 2 more than half a number is greater than 27. Okay, so let's split it up. 2 more than half a number. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. What would represent that?
2 plus 1/2.
2 plus 1/2 x. Nice job. My next statement I'm going to look at is what? 27. So I'm just going to put the number 27 here. Now I need to figure out the inequality. Greater than sign, so it's going to point to the right. What do you do now? Subtract 2. Okay, so I have 1/2 x is greater than what number? 25. What do I do now? Yep, so I'm going to multiply by. Nice job. So I end up getting x to be greater than 50. Excellent. Way to go. So now we've looked at 2 types of inequalities. The multiple step ones and the ones where we actually write the inequality. Now if you look at this, we're going to now add another step to solving these.
This isn't as easy as the math computer.
What do you think the first thing you're going to do in this problem is?
Do the
Yep.
thing.
Distribute.
Yeah.
Okay. What will that give me?
12n minus 1
Okay. Very good.
plus 7
Yep.
is greater than 8n plus 3.
Nice job. Now in the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the left side. So when I say simplify, I'm going to combine like terms right here. So I've got a negative 20 and a positive 7. What does negative 20 and positive 7 give me? Negative 13. Good. So now, I've got both sides simplified. I need to go ahead and combine like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8n from both sides. I'm going to combine my variables first. So I have 12n minus 8n, which is 4n minus 13 greater than or equal to 3. What is the next step? You should add 13 to both sides. Very good. So I get 4n to be greater than or equal to 16. What's the final step you do? Divide by 4. So you get n 4. There you go. What do you think? Not bad?
Really long. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are a little longer. But this is the thing. You've already seen the process of how to solve these when they were equations. Now we're just changing the sign between them to an inequality. So it's the same steps. What do you do first? Distribute. Now notice I get to distribute twice. What do you get on the left? 2h plus 12 is greater than good call. Why is it plus 3h? They're both negative. You have a negative 3 times a negative h. Now we need to combine like terms. So what do you want to move first? You want to move the 3h? Okay. So let's subtract 3h from both sides. On the left side, what are you left with? Negative 1h plus 12 is greater than negative 24. Yep, good call. So if you didn't catch that, Kayla said subtract 12. So I get negative h is greater than negative 36. What do you do now? Divide by a negative 1. We've got to make that h a positive h. So I get h to be less than positive 36. There you go. So far, so good? That's just something you got to file away. You got to file that one away. We're going to look at this one right here. Okay? So what's the first thing you do? Distribute. So when I distribute, I get
12n plus 18
okay.
is less than equal to
42 plus very good. So let's do what with the right side? Yep. Yep. Let's go ahead and combine like terms. So I've got a 42 and a negative 24. However, I'm going to go ahead and write my 12m first since it's a variable and it comes before constants. What is your 42 minus 24? $18. So now we need to get the variables on one side. So what are you going to do? Subtract 12m. So on the left side, what do you get? 0, and then you also have a 18. My sign between them is less than or equal to. What do you get on the right side? 18. So let's think about that statement. Is 18 less than or equal to 18? Yeah, it is. It's equal to, right? So since that's equal to, what do I know about this problem? What will the solution set be? All real numbers. Very good. Okay. Why is it all reals? Because this is a true statement, and anything will work for it. Now, if you remember, when we solved equations, there was also another possibility. What could we get? We could get all reals, and we could also get no solution. Very good. Now, what could I do to this 18 is less than or equal to 18 to get no solution? Take out the equal. Very good. So if I had this, is that a true statement? No, it's never true. So since this would be never true, this one would be a no solution. So you're going to get those as well. So I just want you to be aware of that. Okay, here's your assignment on page 301. It's 12 through 35. Okay, this is a crucial section. I can't hit it enough. Okay, you really need to spend some time. If you have any questions, you need to make sure you get in and get those answered. But this is the section, okay, that you really need to make sure that you understand. All right, this will be due Monday for us. Okay, and we'll probably have a short quiz on Monday as well.